Same advice, but some coaches are only charging 200 whilst others charge 10 times more. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can approach, position yourselves with that right lens so you can charge more for the same advice. I've invested thousands of dollars, spent hundreds of hours working on my own positioning and for other coaches as well. And I see the same pattern over and over again, so I could almost call this a rule instead of just something random that happens. So there are three phases, or there are phrases that you probably see on repeat. The riches are in the niches. Inch wide, mile deep. Find a starving crowd. Sell painkillers, not vitamins. Talk to everyone, talk to no one. And you heard them all. But there's a problem. There are four factors that are connected to those three things. Pain, is the problem urgent enough? Purchasing power, can they afford to pay? Reachability, can you find them? And growth, is the market expanding? And this is something behind every framework you've probably seen when it comes to niching and niching down. And what this does, it helps you avoid the bad niches. It's filtering out markets that won't pay, can't be reached, or are shrinking. But it doesn't help you charge more inside of a good one. That's a different question. That's the model it was never built to answer within. Because you can see two examples. Here are two examples of coaches. They can be in the same niche, but one is charging 3K and the other one is charging 15K. They're in the same niche, they're taking the same boxes, but there are different outcomes for them. They can charge different amounts. And there are two different questions, and coaches often confuse them. Like one is, can I help this person? And most coaches just stop there. It's the only filter they can apply. Like, can I help this person? Yeah, okay, that's it. And then there's the other one, can this person pay me? But there's a different nuance when it comes to that question that most people miss. And this is the question. Among these people I can credibly help with my experience, who creates the most economic value when I help them? And I'll show you what I mean by this. Read it again. Read it, I mean it. This is such a strong question when you really internalize it and use it. So here is an example. Same coaching, but different outcomes, different math. So let's say, for example, you have two clients. One client you're helping makes 2K a month and you help them grow by 50%. And the value you've created for that client is 1K. Then there's client B. He's making 100K a month and you help them increase the revenue by 50%. That value you have created for that client is 50K. Same effort and you put in the same hours, but you 50x'd the value you've just created because of the nuance of the question you asked yourself. So let's say, for example, for productivity coaching, client A as a solopreneur trying to fit in more in their hours. You're saving them a few hours per week and helping them with that. That maybe helps them make some extra money. But client B is an agency owner with a bottleneck because the team isn't outputting enough. And you help them unblock maybe 20K of monthly capacity every single month. Who do you think is gonna who are you helping create more value for? So who do you think you can charge more for? Client B. That's an example for a client who you can charge 10 times more for because they can see so much more value from what the service you're giving. So the model checks the floor but doesn't check the ceiling. The other model, the four boxes we're talking about, it's checking the floor, the purchasing power. Can they afford to pay me? But the value capture, how much value does my work create, of which I can take a share of, it's checking the ceiling. That's the 50K value you're creating, and you can then take 5K from that, but the other one you can maybe take a few $100. That's the difference for when you can charge these high numbers for the same work, because the same advice applied in different situations can create 10 times the value. So the way you can approach this to figure out how you can do this is authority first, value capture second. So first you're figuring out your authority first. Who does your authority speak to? Who can I credibly help? And from there, then you can optimize where can I help the most or create the most value, economic value for, so I can charge more. Because if you're trying to target, like, let's say for example, you're trying to help a business owner who's already making $1 billion. Like your authority probably doesn't speak to that person, so you can't credibly help them. So you never are going to land him, or very unlikely going to land him as a client. So you have to take it from that first, the qualifier lens, your authority, who can I, with my experience, my authority, help, and then where can I optimize that to create the most value so I can charge more, and without having to spend 10 times the more effort, putting in more work to create that value. So why most coaches stay stuck is they sharpen the authority in a niche that never is going to pay them well. And they call it going deeper, but it's just digging a deeper hole. So what you can do this week to avoid that mistake is following these 5 steps. So first, look at your last 5, 10 or 15 clients and ask yourself, how much economic value did my work create for those clients? Then you can rank them for the lowest and the highest and find the highest value brackets. Then you can look at those clients and see what do they have in common, and then you basically just sharpen your positioning towards those high value clients. So then you can charge more, create more value, live a better life, and create more value for the client. Because something you need to adopt is most coaches don't need to change their niche. What they need to do is change which 30% of that specific niche they're already in, they should aim at. And that's how you create this crazy amount of value. You can charge crazy amount of money, but still stay in the fitness coaching niche or business coaching niche, whatever niche you're in, productivity coaching, whatever. Because you just target, you aim at those current sub-bracket, sub-niche inside of your niche already. So just use the same niche, you have the sharpened lens, and you're not changing the niche, you're just changing the math. So ask yourself now, among the people I can credibly help, who creates the most economic value when I help them? And if you ask yourself this, you will be able to charge so much more, you will love coaching more, and you will help people even more because you're creating more value. So they will happily pay the price because you're creating more value for them. So something I want to reference for coaches with real skills who can't sign high-ticket clients consistently, there's a link in the description to join a community of 240 other coaches and growing who are working on their business, fixing their coaching business, landing more consistent clients, and inside there you can book a constraint call where we can find exactly what's blocking you from that next level in your coaching business. Link in the description, check it out, good luck, and use this lens to double your prices or even more.